Welcome back into Fox Carolina Tailgate, joined by my man Patrick Sapp. Talking a little bit of Clemson now. We will turn your attention
the family.
to the
Talk
family.
about the family.
They looked good at Syracuse. They
did.
It's funny what happens when you hold on to the football.
Is
that two point blank?
Talked about it all year, right? So far, and that's been the thing. Turnovers, right? Respecting the football, but also just the dumb mistakes and the mistakes that they made so far. People have jumped off and ran away from Clemson, but I've always said if they clean the mistakes up, they're talent, they are a good team. And they went up to Syracuse in a hostile environment, a team that has really given them fits over the last few years.
Yeah, people forget about that. I think Syracuse is one of those teams that gets that bad rap in the ACC that people look at and when they roll their eyes at the ACC. But they were a team and a program that has consistently kind of been that, pee under the mattress for Clemson.
And they're doing it with less talent, but I can tell you that they are well coached. If you look at the way they play the game, they don't make a lot of mistakes, right? They made some turnovers in this game, but I think Clemson forced a lot of those things. But that's a team that plays clean football, disciplined football. And so always having a running quarterback, which is a crutch for our defense. We did a great job containing that in this game. And really getting there physically and hitting the quarterback.
Right.
To me, a quarterback gets in the open field, you should tag him because if he goes out the game, your chances of winning is going way up. And so Clemson played aggressive, but what about Tyler Brown? Local boy that
we can't talk enough about him, and either can Dabo.
Yes.
He said today, I asked him this week in the press conference, just to have a talent like that in your own homegrown, and he's like, I've got pictures of me and Tyler Brown at Howard's Rock when he was just a little tyke, and bored had the opportunity. He goes, that all happens because another guy decommits.
Yep.
And we then have the opportunity. He called it God's grace that they ended up with Tyler Brown. And I know you were fighting for him, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've talked about Tyler for years to that staff and what an opportunity for him to go there. But, he's a humble kid, great kid, fits into the Clemson culture, just keeps his head down and work. And you see what he's doing right now.
And that's important because you need option. It's great to have your go-to guy. It's great to have, but that only helps Bo Collins.
Oh, yes.
That only helps. You have to have, first of all, it's completely different types of receivers, but it's keeping these defenses honest like they haven't had to be kept honest yet.
Right, and so you have to worry about 4 guys instead of 2 guys or 1 guy. And I know just playing on the defense side of the ball, when they can hit targets across the field, it really stresses the secondary. And so you're seeing Tyler emerge, and now you're going to see those other guys' stats and their production go up because, hey, Tyler's a real threat. He can beat you vertically, and he's going to beat you across the middle.
He's going to be tested this week, though. Wake Forest Dabo loves to preach it. They're notoriously good in that secondary. This is a game that wasn't great for Clemson last year.
Right.
We talk about Syracuse gives them problems. And this was a defensive struggle for Clemson last year on the road at Wake Forest, that double overtime game that they pulled out thanks in large part to the production of the offense. But they're going to be tested, those guys, and it's going to be, can they do it again? And can they sustain that level of production? That's what I'm looking for from Clemson right now.
Well, I think those guys are feeling and understanding who they are as a team. When you come together, especially when you got freshmen contributing, it takes a while for guys to gel, right? And especially on that defense side of the ball with Parker and those guys with great production they're playing with. But Wake Forest brings in that freeze RPO zone run game that really holds you as a linebacker.
Yeah,
it holds you as a linebacker. You really can't get to the receivers in coverage. But they don't have Sam Hartman this year.
Right.
And I think that's the difference.
Because
he's done it better than a lot of quarterbacks.
If we had pulled a bite from Clemson's press conference, they kept saying, oh, no, this guy's been in the system a long time, and he, runs it just as well as Hartman. It is not Sam Hartman.
It's not the same. And the coach you have to say that.
Yeah.
Because you want your guys to come in against this opponent and understand we got to be Clemson. And so for me, really the keys for this week was, can we play mistake-free football? Can we play with passion and energy? And if we do that and just be us and be Clemson, it doesn't matter who they bring in from Wake Forest, they're going to win the game. It's homecoming. Family's going to be there. My family's coming in town, so I'm looking forward to it. But I think it'll be a great game and a great opportunity for Clemson.
You know, we had the opportunity to talk to Will Shipley this week, and he's typically a media favorite. He's just a great guy, a great personality. He's personable.
The life of the party, right?
He's incredibly passionate in those post-game or in those weekly press conferences, post-game press conferences. But in talking to him this week, when he walked out, we all went, ugh. It just, the energy, it was different. I'm not going to say it was bad. I'm not going to say it was down. And I don't want to speculate about, but I even kind of asked him, like, how have you been, buddy? Like, it's been a few weeks since we've gotten to talk to him. And it just didn't have that same energy. Now, when you watch it on film, it looks, I was going to put them side by side and show you. It looks the same.
Right,
but I can tell you, and some of that benefit of being in those rooms is it felt different. And for whatever is going on, I just can't help but think, I sure hope that it all gets channeled in to that Will Shipley passion, because they need that two-headed monster of that running game to keep this success sustained.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, two backs, right? They go to that two-back set that they run at Clemson, and they're very effective. They can throw out of it. Those guys lead block for each other and all of that. But I think you see the quiet focus of Will. I think what happened between him and CJ was unfortunate on the sideline. A lot, it caught wind and hit social media. A blow up with the
running backs coach. CJ
and that blow up, I think Will saw that and he realized, this is not who I'm in. This is misrepresentation of me in a moment of, you know, two men that are heated in the time of battle. And so I think you see a kid that is, I'm going to be more reserved off the field. I'm going to be more reserved, less talkative in the media. I'm going to focus on what I need to get done. And I think production is spread out. And so what I like about playing Maffa and him is those guys get a chance to go in the game and be hungry, because you're not going to get 25 carries a game.
You're not getting fed every single ball. Yeah.
And so when you get that opportunity, you got to make the best of it. And I think that's why you see those guys are running so hard. And I think you see that running game really carrying this offense in a lot of ways right now. And so, but I think Will, off the field attitude is about being focused. Let me be quiet. And let me show people that I'm not this hot-headed kid that you know everybody think I am.
That's well put. Yeah. Well, when we come back, we're going to take a look at our pick'ems and get some final thoughts on this weekend's matchup between Clemson and Wake Forest.